It's 5 o'clock after a long day of school. You're finally home and watching TV, trying to catch that 50th rerun of that one Adventure Time episode they always play for some reason, when all of a sudden, you find its usual interruption isn't insurance or Blender ads, but instead this colorful world where batteries aren't included and everything is always sold separately. I love toy commercials. I never thought I would willingly watch an ad, but after school, these things were just as enjoyable to me as the actual show I was watching. Even if I didn't care about the toys they were advertising. In fact, rarely did anything come on that I actually wanted to buy. I did a whole series on Transformers commercials back in the day.
Ultra Magnus! I'm in trouble! I'll be right there!
And I think I did a video on just general toy ads like 3 or 4 years ago, but I am way too embarrassed to check. But this time, I wanted to look at what it is that makes them so entertaining and why they work so well. At least according to me, who is a totally uncorrupted, unbiased source. Let's be honest here, playing with toys always involved using your imagination to pretend they were having adventures anywhere other than your cold and uncomfortable living room floor. Toy ads understand this because a lot of them usually construct elaborate backdrops and environments to show off the figures and provide like a visual representation of the stuff we'd all imagine anyway. And it always bugged me that they didn't also sell those as well because man, I'd totally buy them. It's like so much effort for such a short amount of spotlight. I can't imagine how long these would take to assemble for something that will be used in at best like 3 2-second shots.
Look at this. The Ace reporter don't have a trunk.
Yeah, but she's got a turtle.
Look, it's the turtle whip.
Because these ads are usually only like 15 to 30 seconds long, a lot of these have absolute crackhead editing with like 12 billion cuts to show off as much as they can in the shortest time possible, which doesn't give you a lot of time to actually see any of these background sets. The 2007 Transformers movie commercial, for example, had this huge city set made to emulate the final battle of the movie. The old 80s He-Man commercials had these incredible sets that they changed nearly every ad. And for the 89 Batman movie ads, they actually constructed these whole elaborate Gotham sets, complete with the moody lighting and everything. Like, it's so well done. And after all this time, this is one of the only things that has remained unchanged about children's advertising because they know we all love this shit.
Use the bat to fly over the destruction and stop him. Shoot your missiles. Bane escapes.
Or, you know, sometimes they just go outside and film it in the fucking dirt because they knew some of you guys are gonna do that anyway. Hot Wheels was more about putting stuff in the background for their playsets to make the world look even bigger, even though they knew for a fact that this was getting crammed into the smallest room in your house. I always wished I could live in the endless voids they transport these kids into for these ads. That shit looks awesome. Was it a little misleading and made more to embellish the toys than anything? Yeah, probably. But I definitely can't fault the amount of work that gets put into the background of these, and it definitely paid off with making them so visually memorable. Of course, I can't go without mentioning how hilarious the disclaimers are at the bottom though. Animation used? Are you telling me that's not real? It is so funny that they have to tell people that your child won't actually tap into the Speed Force when building Lego, and what would these commercials be without a cool sounding narrator to pressure you into spending your money?
What do you call the new water and ooze blasting oozinator?
Oh, yeah!
A lot of these always have this sense of urgency as if their 30-second runtime was also how much longer the narrator had left to live. So you always get a lot of shouting as well.
Send it spinning out for ultimate hero time action. Then reload and fire again for alien target destruction.
Okay, fine, I will. Why are you yelling at me? These guys could advertise anything and I'd still be fully on board with whatever they're talking about. For example, I have brought them up before, but I always loved how the Irwin Dragon Ball Z commercials had no idea what they were talking about.
Will Goku and Trunks' Super Saiyan power be enough this time? Gohan's in danger until Team Dragon Ball Z joins the fight.
Everything is wrong here. The earlier Transformers commercials were very light on narration though and relied purely on showing you how cool they were because they already knew how awesome they looked and were aware they didn't have to do much work. Though I suppose the testimonial here comes in the form of those kids who said robots in disguise that looked more and more constipated with each ad. A few of these introduced their new product by having them fly into battle and absolutely bodying the previous toys. I love that it's effectively giving off the message that your older figures are now completely worthless and that's why you should buy these new totally cool ones instead.
Meet Ultra Magnus. As car carrier, he can transport 4 Autobots into battle.
I don't know, there's something about these old G1 ads that I could just watch all day. They honestly did an amazing job capturing that aura of a brand new figure. They did kind of lose it a bit later down the line though.
I'm a video gamer. I'm a skateboarder. I'm a
Pretenders were a mistake. Toy commercials based on movies or cartoons like Transformers would often get into the habit of integrating clips into them to sort of spur on your imagination that you too can recreate these scenes with these brand new action figures that look nothing like them. I think now, as of late, that's been replaced with original CG animation made specifically for that commercial, like Lego's Hero Factory ads. It's only at the very end of the commercial that they show you what the actual product is after they've bombarded you with all of these backdrops and effects and clips. And yeah, it looks comparatively more unimpressive, but I still want it. Where infomercials have these very genuine and not scripted endorsements from satisfied paid actors, toy commercials often include scenes of other kids playing with the product just so they can show you that children enjoy them. I mean, how can I trust you if I don't see them having fun?
A Star Wars lightsaber like no other, for a very different kind of battle.
My name is Jeff.
Record your own sound.
Pretty unrealistic they always have the kids playing together though, which would never happen in reality, as if I'm going to share my 1989 Dark Knight Collection textual Batman with anyone. I think it's also supposed to make kids feel encouraged by involving them in the fun somehow, like by having the Ninja Turtles forcefully dragging you from your home into the sewer. Cowabunga! Some of these would even try and get the parents involved in the commercial to make it look like a fun family activity and that it's definitely a worthwhile investment of money for them.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
He's He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe.
Why did I have children? Another thing that some of these commercials do is create these extremely exaggerated fake scenarios of what I assumed they thought people were going to do with their products. I adore how these ads have no limit to how ridiculously over-the-top things could get just to make their toy look cool. Like the implication from the Bakugan commercials that there was this secret underground Bakugan fight club for kids, or that people would settle arguments in the school cafeteria by busting out their brand new Beast Machines figures. Nobody does this, but I would totally do this. The commercial for the Pokemon Pokedex toy has this crowd of kids lining up in droves to a store because some guy is sitting on a chair and listing out Pokemon facts.
Bulbasaur's height? 2 feet 4 inches. How does he do it?
Like, there's this Dragon Ball Z one where some kid triple kick flips his way into a Burger King just to ask for a Happy Meal toy. Like, how about you wait in line like everyone else, you dick? And I don't even know what's going on in Beyblade commercials, but sign me the fuck up. Again, like Bakugan before, I wanted to bring up how in like every Beyblade commercial, they've established this underground Beyblade tournament where thousands of kids gather to watch two guys play with toys. And look, maybe I'm just not cool enough to hang out with a crowd like that, but I'm pretty sure people didn't do that. When it comes to these exaggerated scenes though, you cannot beat the Crossfire commercial.
Crossfire! You get caught up in the crossfire!
I mean, how could we as kids forget the annual event where during every thunderstorm, 2 kids on hoverboards would challenge each other to a match of Crossfire to the death, where the loser would get banished into the fucking Shadow Realm? I genuinely cannot even tell how this game works, but this ad is incredible. As much as I love them otherwise though, an unfortunate amount of these employ the strongest weapon in a marketing department's arsenal: a catchy jingle. They always have a jingle every single time.
Mr. Potato Head and his bucket of farts.
It's a pillow, it's a pet, it's a piece of shit. Everything needed a bloody jingle no matter how out of place it was. I mean, sure, a Ken doll where you have to shave it, yeah, we need a fucking song for that. And of course, it's absolutely essential that they make them as irritating to listen to as humanly possible, because it's not like you're going to hear it like 20 times a day on TV or anything, no. You know, maybe it would have been nice if they had invested some of that marketing budget into hiring an actual musician.
My little pony, my little pony. Comb and brush her hair. My little pony, my little pony.
Imagine being the guy hired to compose a song for a fucking microwave oven. A lot of the older ones look horrifying now in retrospect.
My teddy's name is Teddy Ruxpin. He talks, he tells stories,
Hi, my name is Teddy Ruxpin.
I think this was more so a pre-2000 thing, since I don't see as much of it anymore, and I can look back and laugh at 70s and 80s toy commercials all day because they really were just advertising whatever the fuck.
Here's Milky, the marvelous milking cow. It's fun to milk her, gonna do it right now. She drinks the water when we pump her tail.
Please don't drink that. And I mean, we all know what Jingles turned into in the 90s.
Dreadwing is punishing, his Gatling gun is ill.
Obviously though, I grew up in the early 2000s, which saw a pretty dramatic shift in how they advertised toys.
Grind him up with the creepy bug grinder. Make him again.
Toys go smack and splash.
I wish they advertised everything with the sheer confidence that mid-2000s toy commercials had. And on that, I know this isn't specifically a toy commercial thing, but I always find it so hilarious, the contrast between how they market to boys and girls. The ads for girl toys always had like this soothing, calm tone with a sweet-sounding narrator. It's always like, wow, here's this new Barbie doll collection from Mattel. It comes with stickers so you can decorate it or some shit. And then for boys, it's like, yeah, here's a fucking boglin, motherfucker. But I guess that goes back to what they actually market to girls in the first place.
Magic potty baby, your bottle's all done. If potty training time will be so much fun.
Oh god, what the fuck? I also find it funny how many there are that actively encourage boys to make everyone around them miserable.
You can have lots of high-tech fun with Tiger's Talkboy tape recorder.
Hey, stop drooling on me. Hey, stop drooling on me.
Hi, kids, we're home early.
Hi, kids, we're home early.
Just let my guy get some, oh my god. The commercials that have always really stood out to me in particular though are the ones where they made toy lines based on R-rated movies and then marketed them to kids anyway, because why the hell not, I guess.
Give up. Alien can't be beat. What's that one with the light? Don, he'll destroy the spaceship. We lost. Another triumph for Alien.
Yeah, that's how the movie went. They had a Terminator 2 series of action figures where the T-800 had a fucking mobile assault vehicle with a launching missile. You would think with movies like RoboCop that they would try and tone it down to at least pretend like kids weren't supposed to have seen the movie. Nah, just full on, buy these action figures so you can emulate a firing squad gunning down RoboCop with rapid repeat firing action.
The only cop with rapid repeat cap firing.
He's unstoppable.
Which is fucking awesome. Out of all of the movie-based ones, I feel like the Kenner Ghostbusters commercials did the best job of sort of maintaining that tongue-in-cheek nature from the movie and cartoon in their toy ads.
Figment, it's back to the bone. Give me out. Looks like you're really into him, Stan.
And again, here they make like entire stadiums and buildings to demonstrate their playability. And in this one, they made an entire Statue of Liberty set. Like, it's seriously impressive. But when it comes to the absolute king of toy commercials, we have to look no further than the guys that made Clutch Powers. Lego commercials are fucking awesome. Honestly, they are a master of their craft when it comes to advertising, because they take all of the things that other toy commercials do well that I've talked about and crank it up to 1 billion. It doesn't matter which line it is, Lego always brings their A game when it comes to showing off their products. From the incredibly designed sets like the ones in the Ninjago commercials or the full CG short films for the Power Miners and Atlantis lines, they pack so much quality into such a short amount of time. Even they had a weird point though, where they had this kid they called the Lego Maniac in the 80s that was meant to be like their rep for commercials.
I know a boy, his name is Zach. His microchips are out of whack. He built a Blacktron Cadillac. He's Zach, the Lego Maniac.
It was a phase. The most iconic of these all, of course, are the Lego City commercials, which I'm sure you've seen plenty of these past couple years.
A man is on fire in Lego City. We need to deploy the mobile police units and start the chase. Oh no! Now they're getting away. But the new elite police has spotted them. Track him down. Cut off their escape. Start the drill. Plow the man. Swing the wrecking ball. Put them in prison. And bring them to the volcano. Drive the man into the lava. Clean up the area. And blast off into space.
I only recently learned that all of these are voiced by the same guy who does Agent 47 in the Hitman games.
47. I've marked your map with several...
A man has fallen into the river.
You've got all the necessary ingredients for an effective ad in every one of these. Lego City is in trouble and the only one who can build the rescue helicopter is you. And your parents' credit card. They did this call to action with their other lines too.
The fate of the Lego Mars mission is now in your hands with the Recon dropship. Only you can defend the mission.
Wait, I can't handle that responsibility. I'm 10. And by the way, Lego City seems like a really dangerous place to live with all of the constant crime and the fact that they have their own space program where they launch a rocket in the middle of a populated area. And while we're on Lego, we haven't even covered the best of the best.
Yo, Paraka!
The greatest of all toy commercials is easily Bionicle, which figured out that the secret to toy advertising was awesome CGI animation set to rock music. They didn't even have to show you the toys sometimes, you already knew you wanted this shit. These are the best. I challenge you to find a toy commercial as good at its job as these. I own most of them and I still want to buy them. All within usually like 30 seconds to a minute, they introduce you to the bad guys, the good guys, their gimmicks, the theme of the wave, and do it all with such a mysterious atmosphere atmosphere and accompanied by the best music ever. A lot of the earlier ones actually lacked any of the usual things that toy commercials have, like a voiceover or anything like that, and just showed an animation of one of the Toa doing their thing. And it worked well because of how little information it was actually giving you. Like, fuck yeah, I want to find out what a new Paro is. Around the 2004 mark, the voiceovers started to become more prominent, but they weren't used to be obnoxious or loud, but instead do scare the shit out of you.
The Toa are their only hope, but hope is fragile. Bionicle, surrender or run.
Later down the line with the Toa Mari and Baraki, they'd make like these entire 2-minute long animations that had a narrator only briefly setting up this new conflict, and then they leave it to the visuals and music to do all the work for them.
Now you may be wiser, but if you think your troubles are over, you'll soon find out they've only just begun.
Watching all of these even like 10 to 20 years later, it's amazing how these commercials still make these toys feel new. I don't need them. I don't need them. No. And just one more time with the Paraka rap, please. Yo. And after all of that, we've only just barely covered American and British toy commercials. We haven't even looked at anywhere else like Japan, which is entirely another thing. I mean, if we're talking impressive sets and effects, the original Diaclone commercials are insanely good. Dude, I didn't even know how much that is, but now I want it. Anyway, that's about all from me for now. Honestly, I just wanted an excuse to talk about toys. So, special thanks to this month's top Diamondbolt patrons. Alexander Cuckold Trong, that's his name. I did not do that. Ender Pigman 9, Jake, Matthew 11045, Primal, Sergio, and Wulu. And I'll see you all in a few weeks. I have some very stupid purchases to make.